Woo! Hey, everybody. Hey. It's the Game Hump. Wednesday nights. Game Huggers. Here we are. And we have a special guest this week. And his name is Ope. Hey, how are you doing, Ope?
Hey, I'm here.
You are here. And that's the most important thing, is you being here. Because without you, it'd be me by myself.
Dude,
and
you're nuts, G. Your hat says nuts. That's fucking nuts, man.
My hat does say nuts. That's pretty crazy.
How does it know?
I know, right? It just knows. It was like it was meant for me, and it was actually sent to me in the mail, and I didn't order it.
Oh man, I'm surprised you put that on your head.
It's because
it's got anthrax.
It's because I have this really popular YouTube channel, and I have to get all these things get sent to me to review.
Swag.
YouTube swaggers.
Man,
so what's new with you, man?
Man, I'm here for the music, man. I'm an appreciator, aficionado of video game music.
Appreciator. You say appreciator? Is that a word?
Appreciator. It is now.
You're an appreciatorizer. I like that. Appreciating. You don't make the music, but you do appreciate it. And you want to make some chip tunes?
Some chip tunes? Come on, man.
Some tune tunes? Some chippy tune tunes? No, the only chip tunes or any kind of devices that I worked with, or a tool that I worked with, was Milky Tracker, and I made lots of sound effects with that, but it was a little bit above my head. Yeah, Milky Tracker.
Is that on PC?
I think the version that I was playing around with is actually on Linux, but it's very similar to the tracking or the tracker type that you can make on a Commodore 64.
Mod music.
Yep. Yeah, you enter in a whole bunch of different layers, and then the different layers or the different notes that you have at the same time make a different key or a different sound, and you just kind of play around with it. And I just made a whole bunch of garbled messes. It was garbled.
Dude, it was awesome though. You should have recorded it.
I should have. I probably still have the file somewhere. But this week we're going to talk about our favorite game composers. Composers like Jake Kaufman, or David Wise, or Christopher Hulsbeck, and lots of others. Those the only reason I started with those is because it's the only ones that I can pronounce. Oh, and Lord Timothy Fallon, I can pronounce his name.
Lord, was he lorded or knighted?
I don't know. He was Sir Timothy Fallon. No, but I wanted to talk about our favorite game composers. Richard was going to be a part of the show tonight too, but he actually came down with a cold. It's interesting because I kind of got a cold too, but I'm here because this is I think this is our 23rd straight Wednesday night in a row.
Hugging it out. We hug it out.
We hug it out. We argue and we hug it out. I would love to actually get into a good argument on there. I don't know if we have anything we disagree on though. That's why I got to get Dragon Master Dan back on the show again.
Oh,
he's a good fighter.
Hurt my feelings. I don't want him to hurt our feelings.
He does like to hurt the feelings.
He's a straight shooter.
So we're going to talk about some of our favorite games, some of our favorite game composers, music that came from games, and I just jotted down a whole bunch of my favorites. I think that you were just chatting with me a moment ago about a TV show or a YouTube special that was online that you could watch, and it's called Digging in the Carts.
There you go. Go see it now. If you haven't, if you care about video games and music, you will enjoy it. I promise you. It touches on a game you played. I guarantee it.
Like Mr. Gimmick.
There's a short blurb of Mr. Gimmick, but mostly it's about. It covers Namco, Konami, a bit of Nintendo. The Hip Tanaka is a guy that I didn't even really know who he was that well until I watched the documentary, and I realized how much music he did. And it was just like all that reggae sound and stuff. That wasn't Miyamoto, that was this guy.
Wow. From the Super Nintendo era?
No, Nintendo era.
NES? Holy shit!
Like
Really?
early NES. Like I know he did Balloon Fight. I want to say he did. I can't think of. I mean, probably Mario 2. You
Nice.
know.
That's a good soundtrack. I love the Mario games. You know what? That's one thing I didn't really look up is the composers of the Mario games. I think Mario World's got a good soundtrack, and I know Square has a whole bunch of the Final Fantasy games. Those all have pretty good soundtracks.
Nobuo Uematsu.
Yep.
Nobuo. Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, very, very good.
And Hitoshi Sakamoto. He did Final Fantasy 9. He's really good. And who's the guy that did Chrono Trigger? I can't remember his name. That guy's. God, he's so legendary. I forgot his name.
Hold on, I'll find out.
Hold on. Use your Googlins. Come on, Gerald. Use your Googlins.
Gerald's goggle the contempts.
He's the only guy that's plural.
Yasunori Mitsuda.
Yeah, Mitsuda. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. He's really, really good.
He's
So somebody put a whole bunch of Chrono Trigger compositions on Mario Paint on YouTube. You can check out those on YouTube. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, with a little flower drum.
Yep.
A baby face.
Yep.
Somebody used baby face.
All right, so
Let's get cracking.
Let's get cracking. Do you have a lot of experience playing like some of those old NES or even Super NES Natsumi games?
Shadow of the Ninja is the only one that comes to mind.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
Shadow of the Ninja and Shatterhand. And Shatterhand was actually
That was a good game too.
It was Shatterhand was produced by Jalico, I believe.
That was wild. Yeah.
But they're both developed, and the music was by the same team developed it, and the music was done by the same guy, and that was Iku Mizutani. And those are some of the songs that I remember from my early days at NES really, really loving. I thought that the music matched the game so much that it almost had sort of like a Sunsoft feel to it a little bit with the action style of those games. Actually, it was an interesting combination. It was like Batman because Shatterhand plays a little bit like Batman.
It kind of looks like Batman a little bit too.
Yeah, it does. It has a lot of similarities. It also has parallax scrolling, that's important, man. That stuff is important. If you don't have parallax,
you can't figure it out. You'll never sell a game.
Yeah, it's truly not 8. It's not 16-bit unless it's got parallax. But yeah, Shatterhand was a huge one.
No one ever.
Shadow of the Ninja was another really good one. And then on the Super Nintendo, they did a few other types of games that weren't as popular, but one of the really big ones that actually is kind of a hard to find Super NES game now is Pocky and Rocky.
Pocky and Rocky. I never played that game.
1 and 2, those are both developed by the same guy, Iku Mizutani. You never played Pocky and Rocky? It's pretty darn good.
I haven't played that much Super Nintendo stuff other than RPGs. I didn't really play a lot of the.
You are missing out.
I'm not a nerd.
You have missed out, my friend.
I see. I can't play them. They're like you can't afford to buy them anymore. I'll never be able to play them.
That's true. No, Pocky and Rocky was sort of a shoot 'em up, and mixed with it was a mixed shoot 'em up, and sort of it was interesting because a lot of the graphics and the style of it looked like Legend of the Mystical Ninja or Goemon, but it plays like a shoot 'em up. You have 2 players on the screen. You have 1 attack button and 1 defense button. So when something's shooting at you, you can use your defense and swipe away the bullets.
So you're flying around. It's not a
platform. No, you're walking.
Okay.
You walk, and there's obstacles, so you have to go around things every once in a while. And the screen, I think it doesn't auto scroll. You move when you move, the screen moves. So it's more of, I mean, honestly, it's probably like a top view running gun, but it has a lot of like regular shoot 'em up elements, like huge bosses and kind of bullet hell like scenarios and things like that. It's very cool.
Check that out, man. Put it on my Retro Freak.
Put it on your retro freak. You have a retro freak?
Hell yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I got one. I pre-ordered one.
That thing that plays the PC Engine?
It plays everything. There he is.
Oh, I see Gex. What's the thing in front of Gex? Is that Owlnonymous?
You gotta be bad.
We were just talking about some of our favorite music composers. Owlnonymous. And we were just on the topic of Iku Mizutani. Yeah, we can't hear you.
He's muted.
Oh, stop muting yourself.
And just lip syncing down there. He's phoning it in.
Oh. Hey, how's it going?
Okay, so I'll preface this whole conversation. I listen to mostly only video game music, and then like funk maybe.
Oh, nice.
I don't know anybody's freaking name.
Funk.
Yeah, you know what? That's funny. I actually had to Google all the games that I enjoyed. I shouldn't say all of them, but a big chunk of the games I enjoyed, and then write down the names of some of the composers. I like look at it, and if I have my iPod or whatever, right, and I got this game, like huge game library on it, and I'll hear a song, and it's like, God, I love this song, and every time I check it, it's like, oh shit, it's Iku Mizutani, and I'm like, this time I'll remember that, and I never do. Or if I look at it and I'm like, oh, it's Yuzo Koshiro, like, oh, I'll remember that, and I never do. So that's why I did this. I wrote down a whole bunch of them. So maybe I will remember to look up these people and actually figure out some of their music that I actually enjoy.
True. Do you mind if I rebroadcast this through my Twitch as a gaming talk show, and then I'll link to everything?
You son of a bitch. Yes, of course you can. That'd be great.
Where's the royalty check at?
And then we'll get some. So this is gamehuggers number what?
22.
And do you have an official title?
Yeah. Video game composers special.
Okay, thank you.
Wow, we're like double broadcasting here. This is amazing.
No, I can see forever.
That's amazing. Can you like message me the Twitch link?
Yes, I'll do that.
On Facebook even? That would make it easier for me.
Yeah, I'm setting everything up right now.
Okay, cool.
Continue on, please.
Did you just tell me to hold on?
No, I said continue on. Because I'm going to be busy in just like 1 second.
I'd like a cheeseburger and fries.
We were talking about Shadow of the Ninja and Shatterhand and Pocky and Rocky.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Shadow of the Ninja has an amazing soundtrack. That's a Natsume game, right?
Yep.
Who's the composer of that? Do we know?
Iku Mizutani. I've said it like 9 times now, so maybe I'll remember it. Iku Mizutani. He did the Pocky and Rocky series as well.
I'm not too familiar with the Pocky and Rocky series.
I told you nobody played that game, dude.
You guys are crazy. It should definitely be played.
It's not on the PC Engine.
It's not a PC. Yeah, the first one is.
Is it?
It's that I'll never remember the name of it, but it's the game.
Oh,
where you're that. Jeff. No, you're the girl who's got like a fan and she throws like little cards or something like that. And the beginning is it's PC Engine. It's a Hue card, and it's a Who card. And you're standing on the screen, and there's this boat that's like going, and then it like floats away, and then it just says like level 1 start. And it's like a shoot 'em up. It's like the game I was explaining to you. It's basically the prequel to the Super Nintendo series.
Oh, Sapphire.
I'm not. Yeah, that's definitely it. No, I'm not kidding. I'm serious. I'll find it. I'll find it.
Why are you laughing?
Yeah. You know that Necromancer like listens to the show once in a while too.
Necro.
Yeah, he is like.
Wasn't he fuck the dead?
I think he does.
Is he like a juggalo?
Wow. Wow.
Let me get my. Be right back. Let me get my corpse paint.
Oh, for fuck's sake! What is this? Okay.
What?
Nothing.
He got caught. Regal Sin is dialing in. I can't delete this fast enough.
That's awesome.
I'll be right back.
Regal Sin, man, we should just start talking about Formites.
Speaking of music composers, Regal Sin, he did the Silent Service soundtrack.
Did he really?
Little known fact.
Did the Silent Service game have any music in it?
It didn't. Therein lies the comedy.
Wah, wah, wah. That's hilarious. All right. So, where would you like to go next?
Let's go to.
Where would you like to go next? Who's your favorite composer? What's one of your favorite composers, Opethian?
He looks like somebody knows. They used to be called Vert. He was part
Vert?
of 8-Bit Peoples. Did a lot of chip tunes on his own. A lot of people know him as Jake Kaufman.
Jake Kaufman. That's freaking awesome.
Guy. He did Shantae on the Game Boy Color.
Oh, that's right.
Shovel Knight, legendary soundtrack. He did a rendition of Guile's theme using a horn. This guy knows what I'm talking about. That is some legendary ass shit right there.
Jake Kaufman.
Jake motherfucking Kaufman.
You know, I had it
Kaufman's
first.
legend.
Jake Kaufman. Shantae was a Game Boy Color game, right? So it's been a while since he's been composing music, right?
It was like 2003 or something like that.
Yeah. The very first time I had heard his name was actually, and I know that I've heard some games and I've liked some of his music, but I never knew what his name was. The first game that I ever heard his name being credited as the guy who wrote the music was actually an Ouya game.
Really? What game?
Hold on.
They had games on that?
Shut up. Yes, they do.
I thought it was all emulators. You sure it wasn't a 3DO emulator?
No, the Ouya's got lots of good music. Lots of good games. Read Only Memories was exclusive to that. It was the first game system it came out on.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. He also did the music for Double Dragon Neon.
Yeah, the Neon stuff was really good.
A game that came out in 2014 was Owlnonymous, A Tale of Petty Revenge.
I've never listened to that. Is it on his
It's
Bandcamp?
good. It's really good.
I think everything. I haven't been disappointed by anything he's ever put out.
Yeah, I've never listened to Kaufman and be like, oh, this is horrible.
Yeah, like
Well,
even his
it's like-
early work is good.
What's some of his early work?
Like FX1, the Vert album he did with 8-Bit People. That was his technical.
I haven't heard that yet.
album. I've got it. It's on 8bitpeople.com, I think. He's
Okay.
got 2 out. There's that, and there's like remixes of FX1. FX1, listen to that, and like you hear like the it's like the ramblings of a madman. I mean, I don't know where he comes up with a lot of this stuff. I mean, when I first heard it, I was thinking, oh, he just took chip tunes or games and he arranged them himself. So you can kind of pick out the games that he ripped out or what he used as a basis for these songs. Guys, fucking.
Is 8-Bit People his website, or is that another website?
They were like a collaboration of a bunch of artists that were into chip tunes, but this was a long time ago before it was even as popular as it is now. I don't remember what year. I mean, that's got to be like 2000, maybe 2005.
Did he start on like Overclock Remix?
I don't know where he started. That's the first time I ever heard his name, and I didn't hear Jake Kaufman until later, but I knew him as Vert.
Sure.
Because he had those 2 albums, and I downloaded.
That's pretty crazy. He was born in 1981. He's 34.
That's an old man.
Yeah, he's my age.
Yeah. His first game was on the Game Boy Color, and that was a port of Qbert.
Yeah, I'm sure it's on some music.
Yeah, then he did, oh man, a whole bunch of games. He was big on the Game Boy Advance and the Game Boy Color.
What year was that? You said 2003?
Qbert was in 2000.
2000?
Straight up, just regular 2000 on the Game Boy Color.
There's a year on that his album on 8-Bit People.
Then he did Lumines Mobile.
Oh yeah, I remember that game.
Yep.
Everybody
The one that I was
PSP with it.
the one that I actually just discovered today that I didn't even realize was him was Contra 4 on the DS. That's crazy.
He did that?
Yeah.
Contra 4, the bootleg?
No, Contra
DS.
4 as in the DS Contra 4, the actual sequel to Contra 3.
Sorry, I didn't hear DS. I was thinking, because there's a Contra 4 and a Contra 9 for the Nintendo.
Yeah.
And they're just like bootleg games.
Yeah.
Sorry,
It was like,
it's FX3 is his album.
yeah.
But it didn't have a year for when this one came out.
Yeah, he's done a whole shitload of stuff. He did the music for Oda Medius Excellent by Konami.
Yeah, I remember that. I didn't realize that was him.
Well, he also did Retro City Rampage.
Dude, the guy's done probably more than we've ever imagined.
And he did the music for DuckTales Remastered.
He's actually all on that.
Yeah. Metaphorically.
I knew that.
The guy birthed me.
Yeah, there's supposed to be a new Shantae coming out this year, too.
What? Oh, yeah, I actually heard about that. You know, there's one other than there's another Shantae other than the Game Boy one? I only knew about the Game Boy one.
Yeah, there's a few.
Monster World 4.
Ones or whatnot?
Oh, yeah, there was a Steam one.
The new... The new one coming out this year is going to be on Windows, PS3, PS4, PS Vita, Wii U, 360, and Xbox One. For Shantae. That's not a handheld, then, I guess.
Did you see how much that sold on eBay recently?
Shantae and the Pirate's Curse?
Oh, yeah, a boxed one, Game Boy Color, sold for like $730.
That's crazy. Yeah, Shantae and the Pirate's Curse was a Nintendo 3DS game that came out in 2014.
Oh, I was talking about the Game Boy Color one.
Yeah, that one's a hard to find one, isn't it?
I didn't think it was that hard.
Hard to find or hard to play?
Hard.
Oh shit, he did the music for Batman the Brave and the Bold.
Fuck.
Wow.
Nobody played that.
Oh, I love that game. I have it. My son and I played it.
Is it on
it's a Wii.
N-Gage?
It's a Wii game.
Oh, okay.
It actually plays very, very similar to the Super Nintendo Adventures of Batman and Robin, if you remember that one by Konami.
I never played that one.
It's actually made by WayForward. So do you know WayForward? They did DuckTales Remastered.
Yeah.
Yep. It's really damn good. It's very fun. Actually, now that I got a Wii down in my game room down here, now I can maybe do some Till I Die videos for Wii games. I could make that one. Now that would be fun.
I use the Wii to play GameCube games now.
I heard that a really good way to play Japanese GameCube games is by buying a Japanese Wii, since they're like $30 on eBay now.
Yeah, nobody wants them. But you can, if you've got Homebrew channel, you can play Japanese discs.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I think you can region free the system. Yeah, I think you can play legit imports.
I didn't even think of that. All right, how about we move on to another Yankee?
Yankee?
How about
White
sorry,
people.
White people? No. How about David Wise? Are you guys familiar with him at all?
David Wise. I mean, Battle Odes.
Yes, a lot of the early Rare games that came out for the NES and on Super Nintendo was all his music. He started, I think, and I'll just bring it up so I can see.
He made the pause music. It's legendary.
Musical artist.
Let me Google that for you.
He actually his last year working with Rare was in 2009. Wow.
Was that like Jack and Daxter 7?
Probably. I had no idea. That's crazy. No, I remember the first couple games that I played of his that were Wizards and Warriors.
Oh, yeah.
Wizards and Warriors and RC Pro-Am. I love both those games. That's
good music.
My wife, she had a bunch of Nintendo games, and when we got together, we got to mix all our Nintendo games together. And she had this game called Anticipation for the NES.
That was
and
Wise?
she's like, yeah, that was a David Wise game. And she was like, this game is so horrible. Oh, Owl, what's going on, man? What is he doing?
Pictionary.
Yes, he did that too.
Is Fallen, dude. Tim Fallen did Pictionary.
I played Anticipation, and my wife was like, this game is really horrible. And all I could do was compliment how good the music was. I'm like, I don't care how the game plays. It's a stupid board game, but music is amazing. It was all David Wise stuff.
David Wise.
David MF and Wise. He did California Games. He did Who Framed Roger Rabbit. He did Cobra Triangle, which makes sense because that's basically the water version of RC Pro-Am.
What about Tubin?
I don't think he did Tubin. Oh, wait. No, he did. I don't think he did Tubin. He did Taboo, The Sixth Sense.
Taboo, that's what I was thinking.
Maybe that's what you're thinking, Taboo.
He did Taboo. You remember that game? It's like a fortune-telling game.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. Yeah. He did all of the Wizards and Warriors games for the Super Nintendo.
Taboo's horrible. Taboo isn't like a game. It's kind of like a Nintendo version of like an 8-ball.
Yeah. Yep.
Ask again later. No.
Ask again later, yeah.
They did or David Wise did all the Battletoads games, Battletoads Double Dragon, Battle Maniacs, Ragnarok's World, the arcade Battletoads game, and then the Donkey Kong Country trilogy.
Really? Oh yeah, that was David Wise.
That's pretty nuts.
That harmonica, man.
Yeah, right? That's
all I remember about.
That's out of this world.
Have we talked about our Lord and Savior Tom Fullen yet?
That's weird. That's how I said him. That's how I said his name before, didn't I? Or did I say our Lord?
He's not Fallen.
Sir Timothy Fallen. No, this would be the first time you've mentioned him, or we've mentioned him.
I swear, dude. I mean, if we're talking about Jake Kaufman, we should definitely bring up Fullen, because the first time I heard Jake Kaufman, I thought it was like Fullen or Fullen's Prodigy or something, with those arpeggios that he uses. Another thing I really, really love about Fullen is he takes and he like makes fun of other designers by like starting a song off. And see, I thought this is only in oh crap, I'm gonna forget the game right now, but it's a Nintendo game where it starts off like what a Nintendo game should sound like, and then it like blows your mind with arpeggios. And Solstice, yeah. Yes. But so I thought that was the first time he ever hit, or that was the first time I ever heard him do that. But there was actually, I was listening to an Amiga game, and he did the same thing, where he starts off with what sounds like the PC speaker, because that's what I grew up listening to originally, was like some of those older games, and then he just blows it out of the water. It's insane.
You should see what he did with the Spectrum. That thing just has a beeper. He did that shit on a Spectrum. It's just amazing how he did that.
So, I wrote down a few of my favorite Tim Fallen tracks, or games, I should say. One game that is horrible but has an amazing soundtrack is Target Renegade.
I've never played.
I haven't played that.
Oh man, you really should check it out. It's got a really, really great soundtrack.
Dude, Magic Johnson's Fast Break.
Fast Break is worth owning for the soundtrack alone.
Fucking the high score song is fucking amazing. I listen to that daily.
Solstice, Silver Surfer, X-Men, Spider-Man, Arcade's Revenge, Equinox, and he even did the soundtrack, the port or the conversions of Rock and Roll Racing for Interplay on the Super Nintendo.
He did Commando on the Amiga.
What game for the Super Nintendo?
Rock and Roll Racing.
Oh, that game has awesome music. I didn't know that was him either.
I didn't either. I just found that out today.
That game's surprisingly pretty bitching.
It is. It's really fun.
Like, if you can get over the whole RC like program like viewing, like isometric racing, which is a stupid idea to begin with, but
I love it.
But once you get past that, that game is really, really cool.
Dude, off-road. You don't like off-road?
Yeah, I got no problem with those games. That's awesome. I love the isometric view or the RC program style or whatever. That game, I think. Viewpoint, Rock and Roll Racing work really well. I like the Micro Machines games too, which I know is more of a top-down view. Those are a lot of fun. Those are good
that
games.
Guy.
I know, right?
He did, didn't he?
So Tim Fallen also did the music for Future Tactics. That was a PlayStation 2, GameCube, and Xbox game. Did you ever play that one?
No, he did Starsky and Hutch on PS2. And it has awesome music.
Does it?
Starsky and Hutch?
Starsky and Hutch.
Never played that.
It's got like a jazzy, funky soundtrack. You should listen to it.
A funky tune.
It's funky. Yeah, it's very 70s sounding. It's pretty awesome.
Starsky and Hutch on PS2, Xbox, and GameCube. He did the Dreamcast game Echo the Dolphin Defender of the Future.
I didn't play that one.
I haven't either. I don't know about that.
The Sega Genesis one was bad enough to me.
Yeah. I like the Genesis one. That's a fun game. Of course, Plock. We didn't mention Plock yet.
Oh yeah, I listened to that soundtrack not too long ago. It's pretty good.
I actually didn't know. I hadn't played Plock back in the day. But I've been listening to the soundtrack, and it's really, really good. Did Plock have that like claymation type of look to it?
Kind of.
Pre-rendered look.
Yeah, the pre-rendered thing that they were trying to do, trying to make it look more like the Jaguar, or or like a motion capture type setup.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat. Okay.
Kind of, yeah. Maybe you're thinking of that. There was a Clay game that was made by the same guys that did Clay Fighter. That was like Claymates, I think. That might be what you're thinking of versus Plock or something like
Okay. Yeah, I haven't played Pluck. I just saw like a screenshot. It looked like they did that kind of like clay look.
that. He's like pieces. He's got his feet and his hands and his body parts are all separate. So when you're playing, you technically have like 5 attacks, one for each leg, one for each arm, and then your head you can throw, and then you're just like this body flopping around or whatever.
Okay.
But like you have to go and collect your body parts back, or else I think they come back to you. Actually, I don't remember now. But if you lose your like arm on something and you don't get it back somehow, or if you keep going and you lose your arm, it's like gone. It's kind of funny. All right. How about some of the Messiah games on the PC Engine? Like Energy. Oh, I know you love Energy.
I love Energy, and I love everyone that likes Energy. Isn't that a Mega Man ripoff? That's a Mega Man ripoff, right? Oh, there you go. That's what
Shubibin Man? Shubibin Man?
Shubibin Man. You know the guy who's really good at the shooters from France?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Shubibin Man.
Shubibin Man. Yeah, a guy named Koji Hayama. He did a lot of Messiah's PC Engine work, and that included like Shubibin Man 1, 2, and 3, Energy, and a few other games that they had developed by Messiah. One thing that I always noticed about their games, or I think in the US they brought them over as NCS games or something like that, but like even if the games were not that spectacular and kind of like buggy and sort of unfinished or unpolished, the music was really, really stellar.
Oh yeah.
And I always thought that was interesting. Yeah, I always thought that was really interesting that the music was really, really well done on the Messiah games. And they're great games. Or they're great music in those games. How about some Konami games? There's a few big composers that they had back in the NES and Super NES days. And I'll butcher their names, I'm sure, but Hidenori Maezawa and Kinuyo Yamashita and Kenichi Matsubara. They did a lot of work together, but most in particular were Gradius, Salamander, Contra 1, 2, and 3, Castlevania 3, Castlevania 1, that was specifically done by Yamashita, and Simon's Quest was done by sort of a different team, but a very similar team as well, but that was headed by Matsubara.
Well, if they did Castlevania 3 and they did Contra, then they're gods.
Pretty much.
I mean, Castlevania 3 is a game I want to get good at just so I can listen to the music.
I know, right? Do speedruns or just play through it annually or something?
Yeah, like I watched, there's a guy, speedrunner named Kiss My Afro Card, which can speedrun. He can run Castlevania. Oh, he does all the Castlevanias, but he used to do Castlevania 3 a lot, and just a freaking soundtrack. Even the US soundtrack, which the Famicom has 2 extra channels or 3 extra channels of sound, but even the US version just sounds insane. And I mean, you can't deny Contra as well as being just a legendary soundtrack. That was like Contra was for me might have been one of the first Nintendo games or games that I own that had an arcade-like gameplay, but also soundtrack. Like it was that quality. Like I mean, the Contra soundtrack for the Contra arcade game isn't that much better.
Right.
Considering the limitations of the Nintendo.
Mm-hmm. I think that some of those Konami games are some of the best soundtracks I've ever heard. Just like you were saying, if they did Castlevania 3 and Contra 1, 2, and 3, or 1 and Castlevania 3, they're pretty much gods. And that was actually headed up by Hidenori Maezawa. And he did Castlevania 3.
You do Bucky O'Hare because that's another badass soundtrack.
Oh,
Bucky O'Hare is amazing.
I'm not even sure who did that one. Hold on, let me check.
Konami.
Yep.
I wonder if the arcade. I don't know this. If the arcade composers and the Nintendo composers are different teams.
They might be.
Because like the Konami arcade stuff has a lot of heavy bass usage, kind of like the Sega arcade stuff. But
Yep.
the Nintendo unit didn't really have that sound.
They had like 4 channels.
The lead composer for the NES Bucky O'Hare game was Tomoko Sumiyama. And I don't
that guy. Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course. I didn't mention him in anything else before. So
Like the guy who did Ninja Turtles, the arcade game. I think that was.
Oh yeah.
Mitsuhiko Izumi, and he was like, he plays guitar. He's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I think he did the NES and the arcade versions because they're pretty similar on the arcade game.
Oh Christ.
How do you guys feel like? I don't know if I'm cutting. Are you still? Are we still talking about the same Konami stuff?
No, go for anything you want to change to. I'm good.
How do you feel about Shinji Jose?
Dude, Ibarra.
Dude, Under Defeat.
Dude. Freaking.
Is that a Genesis game?
Under Defeat is arcade and Dreamcast.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've heard that one.
Family Masters, man. Yes, Shinji Osa's.
Freaking Dragon Saber, Dragon Spirit.
Yeah, he's been around for a while. Just like the guy who did Mushihime Sama. What's his name?
Oh my god, that's an amazing soundtrack as well.
It was he did the arranged tunes for Battle Garega. What's his name?
I love Battle Garega is probably one of my favorite soundtracks as well.
But the arranged Saturn arranged songs,
which is even better. That's like
he did those, and they're fucking awesome. Damn it, I gotta look that shit up now.
Yeah, I'm doing the same thing.
Battle Garega, I'm not the most familiar with that actually.
Oh jeez, you'll rock your socks off.
Yeah.
Dude.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, how do I not remember this guy's freaking name?
Yeah, I precursor
Manabu
that.
Namiki is his name.
So that same guy that did Mushihime Sama, and I think he did Futari as well, right?
I think he did. Yeah, he did all of them. I think he
And
did
then-
Escaluda. Did both of those.
Dude. And then he also did the Battle Garega arranged as well.
Yes, he did the arranged.
The arranged?
He might have did both.
The range is so gorgeous. I actually got into like a little mini debate like a couple days ago whether the original Battle Garega or the arranged is better. And I'm all about the arranged with the live instruments and the.
Yeah, I'm usually not a fan of arranged.
Oh really? I love arranged.
Sometimes they kind of sound generic anime themes, but sometimes they stand out. Like on Garega, it's fucking awesome.
It's the reason that and the Red Bullets option is a reason to play Battle Garega on the Saturn. So, yeah,
it makes it possible.
The guy who actually likes the original cathode rays is in my chat. He says original all the way. Arranged his butts.
Arranged his butts.
You're just missing out, man.
Arranged.
His opinion.
Who's the people behind all of Sega's like arcade soundtracks? Is it Zentada?
Oh, he did. Yeah, they did. Darius.
They did anything with like that bass face. That anything like in like the Sega days when you could add a bass face.
Dude, that bass face.
That bass face though.
Okay, Ninja Warriors.
That's a good one.
Sega Sound Team.
SST, that's right.
They're still around too. Oh yeah, Zentada. Sorry, Zentada's Tato. Thank you, Cathode. Like Taito had some amazing soundtracks too. The Sega Sound Team though is still around, and they're called a new game. They have a new name, and I forgot. I'm one of their fans on Facebook, but they still play shows.
Really?
They lost one of their main guitarists. But other than that, it's all the original team.
That's pretty crazy.
Original bass face.
How about you're speaking about Sonic games? I'm sorry, Sega games.
Yes.
I was going to mention Sonic the Hedgehog 3, and that one's got a little bit of controversy to it because that game has a lot of composers. They worked on a lot of music on that. Brad Buxer, Kuroko Jones, Bobby Brooks. Bobby Brown, Jeff Grace, but a few, a lot of Americans, but also some Japanese, like Tetsuyuki Maeda And on Wikipedia, they have listed as Michael Jackson, which of course is under a lot of like. There was some drama to that because apparently he was supposed to have been like named as the composer or the lead composer of a few of the tracks in that game.
But he touched some kids and they had to drop him.
Something like that. But they wound up going with the music that they had written together. Written. You gotta pick on my.
I got you.
But Sonic 3's got a great soundtrack. I love the soundtrack.
Dude, Sonic 1's got a great soundtrack.
They all do.
Listen, I'm gonna let you guys finish and all, but Sonic CD already has the best Sonic soundtrack ever created.
Is it they call him Sonic?
Sonic CD was mind blowing for the time. That was one of the first 3D-based audio games that I got to play as a kid, and it's insane. Like the production value, the live instrumentation. That was one of the first games, that really, really blew me away as a soundtrack.
The first CD game I played was Sewer Shark, and it wasn't that great.
Yeah, well, I was saying the first good one.
First good one. Yeah, thanks for clearing that up for me.
Yeah, Sewer Shark's great. You know, I didn't know Sewer Shark had a 3DO release.
Yeah,
they got a budget.
The 3DO got a Sewer Shark and a Night Trap release, like updated.
I remember Night Trap. Quality. I remember Sewer Shark.
Yeah.
So, somebody in my chat saying that the Sonic CD Japan version had a completely different soundtrack. I didn't ever know that.
Yeah, there was one that came out recently for like Xbox Live and PSN, I believe too. But I actually got it on. There's an Android release that came out on the Ouya, which I know is unpopular. But anyway, I got it, and you can switch between the U.S. and the Japanese soundtracks while you're playing. It's really good.
So weird. You're telling me to buy an Ouya? Is that what you're saying?
I think everybody should have an Ouya. It's a lot of fun.
But I have a computer. Can I play it on Steam?
No, I'm gonna buy that retro. Which we should do an episode next week of that retro video game system thing.
The one that Ope's got, the retro.
Retro VGS.
Oh Jesus.
Oh, you mean the Chameleon, Karma Chameleon?
Yeah, but that's all we can. Let's not even dive into that. Let's just
spoil it, kids.
Yeah. Oh man, that'll be fun.
I've been reading up. Oh, you know what would make a good game huggers as well? Forum drama.
Oh shit! You know, I used to do this.
You don't need any of that.
I used to do this blog about like the Forumites of the month, or the Forumites like who's done something good, who is generous, who is an idiot. You know, like I think
it
Bernie
was soup
won.
Every month. It was soup.
No, there was a soup of the month.
And it was soup, and then it was Donna, and then they disappeared.
Yeah, soup was really like famous for like starting threads that made no sense at all. Just he had started thread every time.
Where are those noobs like that anymore?
Yeah, I know, right? So whenever somebody would come on and just start a thread that made no sense, we would call it the soup of the month.
I know, but he was at least funny and likable.
Yeah, he was.
You know what's even worse than forum drama is, I don't know if you guys have local Facebook groups. We have a local retro gaming group. And I know these people. Like when you actually know the people that are posting the dumb stuff, that's even worse.
Yeah, because they're not so tough, are they?
You're like, I love this person, like, you know, in person, but like, oh my gosh, online they are just like, I just want to kick them.
Keyboard warrior.
Right. All right. You know, I had only one more composer to talk about, but that doesn't mean we need to like stop or anything. But he's probably the best in my opinion. He's my favorite, and that's Yuzo Koshiro.
Yuzo.
That is, I mean, the list of games is kind of ridiculous, or you can't even believe that he was the lead composer for it. But it's East Book 1 and 2, East 3, Dragon Slayer, ActRaiser. Yeah, there you go.
Sorcerin?
Yeah.
Yes, this one.
ActRaiser.
Must own this.
All of the Streets of Rage games on the Genesis.
Oh my god.
Super Adventure Island for the Super NES, and then Shenmue on the Dreamcast. Like, that's ridiculous.
I don't know if I've listened to the music on Shenmue. I just listened to the dank memes. Did he do the soundtrack for the duck races in Shenmue?
I hope so, because that would make him even better.
Did that guy ever find his father?
But it's crazy. He still does work with Falcom 2 for the PS Vita and the PlayStation Portable games that they come out with. Some of those like the Tears of Vermilion or whatever they had, Legend of Heroes games, the
yeah.
Ys games that have come out for it.
Did he do the? Did it? Was he a part of Ys when it was around with the PC-98?
Yeah, he did all
Yeah.
those.
Oh man, that's on. See, this is the thing. I don't know who these people are, and it's a damn shame. But I listen to Ys
But they're
1 and 2.
legendary.
I listen to Ys 1 and 2 and Sorcerin. Maybe I listen to all of them at least once or twice a week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just that bass to drop.
But yeah, holy crap! I don't know of anybody else that I'd put any higher than that. I know Tim Fallen's great and Jake Kaufman's really great, but Yuzo Koshiro, that's out of this world. I think the ActRaiser soundtrack there's nothing more perfect than that soundtrack.
I haven't listened to the ActRaiser soundtrack.
It's a pretty good game.
I'll check. Yeah, I played the game, but it wasn't the soundtrack. Yeah, the soundtrack didn't really strike me out.
Oh, that's crazy, man. Did you break your funny bone?
Always. Oh, who did the? I forgot. What about early Sunsoft?
Oh man, yeah. There's
Blaster
some
Master?
stuff.
So there's actually the guy who did the Gimmick soundtrack, which is one of my favorite of all. I'm Facebook friends with me. He's one of my Facebook friends, and there's a Gimmick song called Happy Birthday. For my birthday, he posted Happy Birthday and a video clip of the song.
Oh
I was
my
like,
God.
wow, that's awesome.
Wow.
If we're talking about video game music as well, we should talk about that Digging in the Carts, or at least suggest that people watch that.
Dude, we were just talking about that.
Okay,
Boom.
sorry.
No, that's
But
okay.
yeah. But PSA, you gotta watch that shit.
Yeah, it's free. It's sponsored by Red Bull. You can stream it on your phone or your tablet or your computer or your porn machine or whatever.
That's so weird.
But number 3 or number 4 is the one that does the guy from Gimmick. And it's insane. He's like, I forgot what he said some really inspirational stuff where he's like, I knew kids were playing this and I just really wanted to make them feel good, and I wanted to, put my best efforts forward. And he said he had to fight to get the extra sound chip for Gimmick and whatnot.
Yep.
But it actually he only did Gimmick and Hebariki, I think, and then the other games, which Batman for Nintendo, Return of the Joker, Blaster Master. I mean, there's so many other Sunsoft games which they just killed it for the Nintendo.
Journey to Silius?
Journey to Silius is gone.
Man.
It's like,
World.
yeah.
So,
Fester's Quest? Come on, Fester's Quest.
Fester's Quest is kind of zany, but I like it.
the soundtrack's
The
really
music's
good for it.
okay,
Yeah, the music's
Yeah,
really good.
we're just talking about soundtrack.
Plays
now.
terribly
What did you say his name was? That was.
I have to look it up real quick.
Is it Naoki Kadaka?
I don't know. I'm being a bad Facebook friend right now.
He's listed as the composer for.
Okay.
He was your friend, dude.
Yeah, we're totally friends.
Totally.
We're like best friends, totally. What's your name again?
Except for right now.
Mashi Kageyami, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Same thing.
Is that Masahi?
I do not speak
Mas-
any
Mas-
Japanese. I apologize for my butchering of the language.
You should.
Oh, yeah. Damn.
Damn.
So, I actually have a friend as well that I'm trying to get on the Game Huggers one of these Wednesday nights. He lives in Japan, and he friended me on Facebook because I was in one of his Facebook groups that's called Learning Japanese, and he's trying to teach Japanese through these little mini lessons, and we're just he puts up a thing and says, how do you say this, and then we record a quick little video and just respond to it, and he's like, very good, whatever. And his name is Toshiaki Sakoda. Toshiaki Sakoda. And he did...
You did video game music?
Yeah. You know who it is?
No,
Oh.
you're about to tell me, though.
Oh, sorry. He did... Oh, why can't I find
He did the Godfather series, Rosemary's Baby, and The Taxi Driver.
No, he was a compile composer.
What?
Compile
You
is
do
the bomb.
Leslie? So, I don't know.
Hold on.
Did you do
Okay.
Bobo and Leslie?
Toshiaki Sakota. Hopefully, I'll find it here. Oh, here we go. He did Alesti 2 on the MSX.
I got that game.
He did Devil's Crush for the PC Engine. He did Gunman.
Did he do Jackie Crush?
He did Cyber Knight. He did Musha on the Genesis. He did Dragon's Fury. Puyo Puyo on the MSX. Treasure Hunter. Baroque Evolution 2, The Far Off Promise on the Dreamcast. And he did Riviera, The Promised Land on the PSP. And Baroque on the Wii, which I'm not familiar with. But he did, all Aleste and Devil's Crush. Man, that's insane.
Devil's Crush is so legend. I remember that, like, Devil's Crush, it kicks off right into that music as soon as you start the game, and it sets the tone for the entire game. And, like, I love those, like, gothic type pieces, like the Castlevania series, Death Smiles, and that game.
Shinji Hoso type stuff.
Yeah, totally. It's just, it's crazy how much, like, music can make a game. You ever tried playing a game on mute? It's horrible.
Hell no.
I can't imagine.
It's shitty music. It's a game changer.
Except for Rocky. Oh, can we talk about bad composers?
Sure.
Composer for that?
Rocky and Bullwinkle for the Nintendo is one of the worst soundtracks I've ever heard.
Dude, that's not a composer.
I think, I remember. That's funny. I remember somebody, I think it was Ryan Geno or Star Soldier 1 just did his least favorite NES musics video, and one of them was Rocky and Bullwinkle. Just awful.
I think that's everyone's least favorite.
It's absolutely disgusting. It has like 6 tones, and then if the game has slowdown, it actually pitch shifts lower and higher, which
that's horrible.
Why is your game doing that? Like that this is a game that you release to the public.
That's crazy.
It was
also really bad is a lot of session games have like horrible music. Journey to
it's a miracle they have music at all.
Yeah, really. Escape to Atlantis has like one alert of sound, which is when you run into something, it makes a boom sound, and then the music is just torturing your ear holes as well. Like it's
my ear holes. Don't torture my ear holes.
Don't torture.
Oh, shit. Oops. Sorry. Torturing my ear holes. God, what are some really terrible soundtracks? I want to say that there's something on the PC Engine that it just makes me cringe every time I play it, but I can't remember what it is.
Is it Dracula X?
Oh yeah, that's definitely it.
One of the worst.
That's actually probably the best soundtrack of any game ever.
It's probably one. Well, Rondo Blood, yeah.
It's so amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. Airzonk, man, fucking Airzonk. Who composed that shit?
Airzonk is disgusting. It's like Western. I don't know what they were trying to go for there. Yeah, Caribbean Western.
Caribbean.
Are you talking about Super Airzonk or Airzonk?
I'm talking about the CD-based one. I'm sorry.
Okay, I was playing along.
That's rockabilly, man.
Yeah,
yeah. No, I'm being serious.
Okay. you didn't like Super Airzonk soundtrack?
It's kind of butts.
I don't know. It's not horrible.
You gotta have it.
It's definitely like a disappointment in comparison to the original Airzonk and the chiptunes that are in there.
Dude. That's legendary.
That cover artwork's badass. I haven't seen that.
Why can't the game be that good?
Yeah, I know.
Did CDI games have soundtracks?
I don't know.
Did they even have Control?
Another game worth mentioning. I don't know who's behind it, but all of the Tempest 2000 series, pretty amazing.
Oh, those are awesome soundtracks. Yes.
Yeah, the TDX and Tempest 2000.
Wipeout, man. Wipeout.
A viewer asked where is the love for the Chrono Trigger soundtrack?
Hey, we already talked about it. Yeah.
There. Yeah, sorry. I'm joining late into their chat. How long were you guys streaming before I joined?
Maybe 10 minutes.
Okay, cool.
We went and said like all of the obvious ones, like Final Fantasies and Marios and Chrono Triggers, just to get them kind of out of the way.
Link to the Past?
Link to the Past, that was beautiful too.
Was that Koji Kondo?
We didn't. I don't even know who did that one though.
I think it's Koji Kondo. He did all the Zelda ones, I think.
But Airzonk, the original PC Engine or TurboGrafx.
Daisuke, whatever.
Cue card, yeah, Daisuke Morishima and Hasashi Matsushita.
That fucking guy. I owe him a beer or two. Fucking awesome soundtrack. I listen to that daily.
Airzonk, yeah, that's a great one. That's so good.
Super Metroid, atmosphere setting.
That's a really good soundtrack.
That's a game where the music makes all the difference. You can hear. I know. Just mentioning it, you're hearing the sounds right now, aren't you?
Yeah, I know the Criteria song.
Sounds
like an abandoned ghost ship.
I really like the music from Phantasy Star Online, the whole series. Like, I love the music from those games. I don't know the composers. I just figured I'd just throw that in there because PSO.
The Phantasy Star series, right?
Yeah, they're really great. The Phantasy Star series on the Genesis are really well done too.
I wonder who did the Kirby soundtrack
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
For the Kirby. Nintendo, for the Game Boy, and then also for the NES.
F-Zero.
Who?
F-Zero.
F-Zero. Also, yeah,
guy?
Badass.
Fucking
I can't remember all these names. I just wrote down. I was actually writing names, not just yelling out game names. These are actually like the developer.
I'm sorry. This is the way that my brain works.
Oshino Kirby.
I can't keep up.
Akira Miyagawa.
Spanky's Quest.
Spanky's Quest. Spanky's Conquest.
Have you guys had the honor of hearing an X68?
Oh, the Road Chip.
The Road Chip. The Squeakquel.
Have you heard
what was that?
Have you heard a Sharp X68000 with a MIDI module?
No, what's that? What are those?
It's the newest retro gaming device that all the hipsters are buying that has arcade ports. Yes.
Oh shit! I need to get one of those.
Yeah.
I think Beamer's got one. He brings it to the Midwest Classic. I know I've heard Castlevania.
Yeah, Castlevania for the MIDI is actually kind of life changing. Like
it's really good.
It's fucking pretty badass.
I do believe, and I know somebody in my chat will say this. I believe that one of the PlayStation collections has the original, has the MIDI version available to be able to hear. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I'm pretty sure it's one of the legacy collections on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
What about Pepsi Man? How do you guys feel about the Pepsi Man soundtrack?
I haven't. I have no idea.
It's a 30-second loop that just says Pepsi Man over and over.
Wow.
It's burned into your brain.
It's really bad, yeah.
Not fun. Didn't you speedrun that game?
I do.
Are you down to like 2 minutes yet?
20 minutes. You shut up. Oh man, it's better than that.
What about Dragon Quest? What about the guy who did the Dragon Quest music?
Oh yeah, that's great music.
Yeah, Dragon Quest is insane. So like a lot. I've watched the digging through the carts, and I just started the untold history of Japanese video game developers, and like a lot of these people, that we talk about as like legend and like people that really influenced our music taste, they a lot of times don't know that we still quest after and listen to their creations.
Yeah.
Which is like everybody that everybody they interviewed for the digging in the carts, they were like extremely grateful that people were appreciating it and still listening to it. And it's a damn shame because I mean I'd rather listen to an OST over the radio any day.
Right. I haven't listened to regular radio in God knows how long. It's crazy.
But what if it was radio that played video game music?
Oh, that'd be great, but there's no such thing. Okay, so just Googling a couple things real quick here. Dragon Quest composer is Koichi Sugiyama.
Oh yeah, he's fucking
amazing. And Link to the Past was done by two composers. I'm sorry, no, just one composer. And that's Koji Kondo.
Hell yeah.
Can you tell me what Koji Kondo did he do? What else he did?
I think he did all the Zelda.
Let's find out.
I think he did all the Zeldas ever.
He does soundtrack and chiptunes. Okay, let's see. Let's just go down the list of things he's got.
Here we go.
He did Punch-Out, and he did the NES Golf. He did arm wrestling, kung fu, Super Mario Brothers, sound effects and composition. The original Zelda, Lost Levels, Super Mario Brothers Lost Levels. He did Doki Doki Panic. So yeah, you were right, Ope. Like
man,
the same guy that did Doki Doki Panic actually did.
No, I'm not. I made that shit up.
Mario 2, Mario 3, Mario World, Pilot Wings, Link to the Past, Star Fox.
Pilot Wings, that was a good one.
Yeah, Yoshi's Island, Mario 64, Star Fox 64, Ocarina of Time, Mario Party, Mario Golf, Mario Party 2.
Legend.
This is insane. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Look at this guy's resume.
This is like the king. Right
Get
here.
on his level.
He's still doing it. Like his most
does
recent
Wii
stuff.
games, doesn't
He did the Smash Brothers for the Wii U and the 3DS. He did Majora's Mask 3D. He did Mario Party 10, Super Mario Maker, Mario Tennis, Mario and Luigi Paper Jam, and this coming year is going to be the Wii U Legend of Zelda game.
This guy's a workaholic.
It's pretty nuts.
What new game?
A lot of these are mostly sound supervisor and music supervisors now. And he hasn't composed anything since like Super Mario 3D World. He composed that. He also did Super Mario Maker's composition and arrangements. But the thing that's coming out this year that's new is going to be Legend of Zelda for the Wii U. That's something that he is just a supervisor for.
What is coming out for the Wii U?
God damn it, can you not hear me?
Legend of Zelda for the Wii U, but what is it?
What do you mean? That's the new Zelda. It's honestly, it doesn't even have like a secondary name yet. It's just Legend of Zelda
So
for
you're
now.
just saying, okay, the new Wii U Zelda game.
Yep.
Okay.
Sorry. Not Legend of Zelda. I mean,
I can't fucking wait for that.
It's Zelda 1 HD remix.
Word.
in open world and all kinds of crazy
Fighting.
stuff.
Bloop, 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 bloop.
It's dangerous to go low. Listen to this.
Sorry guys, I'm about 4 whiskeys in.
You sound like Tatsuji.
Ah.
So I had a, this is a little bit side project, but I had a good arcade day. I sold an arcade game,
Wow.
and I sold in my Naomi NetBoot arcade setup and a Woody cabinet, and then I got in a Johnny Mnemonic pinball game.
Dude, I remember that game on pinball.
320 gigabytes of data.
I need to jack in.
I need to jack in.
I need
So
to find a
good.
computer.
Oh yeah, I need to find a computer. That's right too.
Whoa.
And the
You gotta
voice
drink
acting?
every time he says whoa.
The
Or
voice
ask a
acting
question.
on this game. Okay, John. Whoever does
John Wick.
Keanu Reeves kind of sounds like him, but the Ice-T impersonation is almost racist. Like it's horrible.
It's not
Wow.
It's so bad.
him. On the pinball game.
That is
They should have got
awesome.
Samuel L. Jackson.
No, I always thought that Johnny Mnemonic was probably the best Matrix movie I've ever seen. It was great.
You
The
know,
one was better.
ironically, the pinball game, the Johnny Mnemonic pinball game, somebody rethemed it as the Matrix and sells a kit to turn that game into the Matrix.
Nice. That's pretty
Yeah.
funny. Crazy.
So it's crazy.
Why would you do that though? Then it's worth less.
No, Matrix awesome, man.
All right. So, is there anything you can think of that you'd want to end the show with, closing us out tonight?
Nuts.
Composers, and besides my nuts hat, I know Ope loves it. He
How
wants
do you
D's.
feel about Conker's Bad Fur Day?
The game or the music?
Both.
I think the game is very fun. It was a little gimmicky. I mean, honestly, if the game didn't have a mature rating, I don't think as many people would care. They'd probably be lumped in.
I'm with you on that 100%.
It'd probably be lumped in with like Banjo-Kazooie, but maybe even thought of as a little bit less than Banjo because it's a little bit less original. But the soundtrack's really good. I wonder if that's a David Wise too. I didn't even like look that up.
There's no toilet humor in Banjo-Kazooie, and you're not 10 to laugh at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they have that Pooh song. There's actually, I was surprised when I played it. I actually only played it recently, like a year ago. I was surprised by being a cart game, how much music and voice they were able to get into the game.
That is true. There is a ton of voice in it. So the guy who did the music for Conker's Bad Fur Day is Robin Beanland.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah, he's done a few games. He did.
He
also
Bad Fur Day too.
He also co-wrote the screenplay for Conker's Bad Fur Day.
The movie
musical.
formerly known as Conker's Bad Fur Day.
But he also worked on Star Fox, Banjo-Kazooie, Killer
Yes,
Instinct.
Tatsuya Nomura. He said it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I just want to get one more in before if we're going to close up. Tatsuya Nomura, Toplan arcade designer, music.
Ooh.
He did Fire Shark,
Outzone.
Tiger Hell, Hellfire, Outzone, Dougie Twin Cobra, Zero Wing.
All the hits.
All good
Dude,
games.
Outzone gets my blood running.
So it's me
Dougie
rock hard.
freaking sucks. I'm alone on this because it's so hard, but the music, oh my god.
It sucks because there's only one bomb.
It sucks because it's just random bullets
If
and
they give you a stock of bombs, it would be more fun of a game.
ass pounding. Yeah, really. I mean, if you get one bomb, or you can trade it off for the super speed.
I just love it. I love it when a TOA plan comes together.
A TOA plan.
I see what you did there.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's bad. Hey,
there's a good meme that Tatsujin or Cyril, if you follow him on Facebook, is like posted a gazillion times. He's always, whenever somebody posts a Toaplan game, he always puts the meme up of the oh shit, what is that show?
A-Team.
The A-Team. Yep, that's it.
Yep.
Dude, what about the Ray Zamber soundtrack?
Raisin Bar.
Oh,
Raisin Bar.
I don't even know who that is. You want me to look? I'll look it up.
But he did all three of them, and they're badass.
Who did?
Goggle the Contempt.
The guy who did all of them.
Whoever the guy who did it.
Yeah.
Raisin Bar. How about Image Fight 2?
Dude, because it's all remix Image Fight 1 music. That's a good soundtrack.
Yeah, that's true.
I cannot find who composed that.
I'll look on the CD.
Oh, here we go. Yushate Stiato.
Saito.
You're pretty good at that.
But yeah, it's a good.
He did a lot of Data East games as well.
The West.
Data West. I'm sorry. Yeah. How is Data East and Data West exist at the same time?
Dude, East meets West, man.
It was a fight.
East side, West side. There's like territorial disputes.
The first OST Gang Wars.
Weren't they just the same company? Wasn't it like Namco and Namcot?
I have heard something like that, and it was to get away from the exporting out of Japan.
Oh.
Yeah, probably. It's like Konami and Ultra Games.
Oh, is Konami Ultra Games?
Yeah, you didn't know that? That's how they got around. Nintendo would only let you release so many games a year, so they had to come out with Ultra Games to release even more because Nintendo was like, you guys gotta hold off.
Yeah, Konami.
Nintendo of America now.
Yeah, Konami forced, or I shouldn't say forced, but Konami went with a way of like kind of their kiddie games with a sort of more family-friendly games under the Ultra Games ones, and the Konami titles were more the serious games. So like the Contras and Castlevanias were under Konami, whereas Ninja Turtles and Tiny Toons Adventure were under
Roller
Ultra
Games.
Dude,
Roller Games was Ultra as well.
Metal Gear 2, dude. That was Ultra. Metal Gear 2.
Yep. Owl, do you like roller games?
I do.
That's one of my like go-to games. Honestly, I could play through it in about an hour.
Have you played the arcade game?
You know, the arcade game is not that cool.
It's not that good. I've had the pinball game though.
Cool.
Yeah.
You should get it or play it.
Yes, Pinball's by Steve Ritchie. Badass game.
Williams.
Williams.
All right. Ope, what would you like to close with? Do you have any hidden little things that you wanted to talk about that you haven't gotten to yet? Or are you just ready to punch it?
Oh,
you my load right there.
I have one.
Oh man, here we go.
My favorite DOS-based video game OST and something that changed my life was the Quake soundtrack.
Nine Inch Nails.
Nine Inch Nails, Trent Reznor.
Yeah. Yep.
One of the first major artists that actually made a video game soundtrack, and that I mean,
it's pretty ambient. Like when you play that,
I used to put I used to have the Quake shareware CD, and I put it on track 1 is just static because that's where the data is. It's a Red Book type setup. Track 2 through all the way up to like 19 was that ambient kind of dark, doomy, like scary stuff.
And then you get destroyed by a shambler.
Yeah.
Well, you said that was one of the first times that a big like composer or a real famous composer wrote music for a game.
No, I mean that's just what I know of. I mean, in my like 14-year-old mind, yeah.
Think of the Amiga or DOS or even the TurboGrafx CD game of Loom, which has music from Tchaikovsky, which is
that's pretty epic. I forgot there was some other video game which had a really a popular J-pop band. They had the drummer composer create music for that.
For PC Engine?
No, it was for I don't know. I'll get back to you guys. It was something that I don't know. What's the guy with the giant fro that hangs out in the PC Engine chat room?
Sparky.
Ark.
Ark. It was something that Ark linked to us to that I didn't know about.
Oh, yeah,
Sure.
because J-pop
Makes
is
sense.
dark.
J-pop. J-pop.
Also, did either of you guys guess what the game is behind me here?
I just assumed it was hentai. I haven't been looking.
You're pretty close.
You're actually pretty close, yeah.
Oh, PCFX. You have your PCFX now.
Yep. So I'm testing out the game on it. I was playing it for a minute or two before we started.
What is it?
Blue Breaker.
Oh, is that a little weird?
You know what? It's pretty
Not quite
traditional
hentai.
RPG. Yeah,
Okay.
it's there's nothing really bad about it, not yet at least. Very traditional RPG.
I will recommend Pia Carrot Translated as something you should play with your wife. Because she will do better at it than you will. I forgot who it was. I read of the person who actually read the fact when I was learning how to play the game was actually written by a dude's wife that she's like, I can do this better than you, and she did, and she was the one who wrote the fact for how to get to every character in the game.
Nice.
Which is kind of funny.
That's awesome.
Unrelated,
All right,
sorry.
cool. I'm going to check out Pia Carrot. I want to check out Zerogar and the translation that was recently done for that. Chip Chan Kick and Zenki FX and there's a pretty good chunk of FX games that are actually really fun. So
Team of Defense doable with a guide, but there is a translation eventually coming.
Last Imperial Prince is doable with a guide too.
Which game?
Oh yeah, Last Imperial Prince.
Oh, that game's awesome actually.
It's like a Tales game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Action adventure.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yep. You get into traditional style battles, but it's like a side-scrolling role-playing game, sort of like Ys 3 mixed with like
Yeah, it's kind of like Ys.
Paper Mario. Anyway, for Owlnonymous and Ope.
What? Everybody's saying my name that lately.
Owlnonymous and Opethian. I am Joshua Turbo. You can follow me on Twitter at _Joshua Turbo. Don't forget the underscore because it makes my penis hard. And I will see everyone else in a week. Thank you guys so much for being a part of the show.
All right, thank you, Josh.
Behave yourselves, guys.
See you, man.
Bye!